Then Jane Edwards joining us live from the Fizz headquarters. Good morning.
Morning, Troy, and really good radio family. I'm really probably Mrs. Fizz to all of you, but I am actually Jane in my other part of my life. So thanks for having me on this morning. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm really sorry I haven't done daiquiris and things because in our household it's probably a bit early. But I am happy to take requests and do other cooking experiences for you online or in person, or you can just add a sneaky shot to yours if you like.
Oh, cool. I'm sure you're going to provoke loads of conversation today. So people, if you're listening right now, throw in the chat. The live chat, it's only a 2-3 second delay. So throw in any questions or recipes that you want me to fire off to Jane. But this is really cool. So you obviously use the Thermomix. You're a family of 6 and your Facebook page is called Thermomix for 6 or something like that, isn't it?
Mixing for 6.
Mixing for 6. So the Thermomix is there to handle 6 people. Who's in your family makeup for the people that have got no idea who the Fizzes are?
So we've got Fizz, myself, and we've got 4 girls that go from 12 down to 5. So we're probably catering for, I'd say, about 4 adults and 2 children when we're doing things. But what we love about it is you don't have to cater for that many. You can just do it for 2 if you want to, or for 1 if you want to.
How recent in your life is the Thermomix? Can you remember life pre-Thermomix?
So we were lucky enough to be introduced to the Thermomix back in the TM31 days, which is the one Jano was talking about this morning. It's got a big dial like a clock that you turn and things.
Oh, yeah.
And that was over 10 years ago.
Oh, right.
Since then we got hooked. So we moved on to the TM5 model when it came out because it's all cool and tech and gadgety and had some more things. And then I got even more hooked. So I became a consultant to earn my TM6. So I didn't actually pay for mine. I earned it back through doing my demos and connecting with people. So it's one way you can get one on your bench. There's lots of different ways that we can talk about that.
Yeah.
And so that's where we've been lucky because not only have I got 1 now, I've technically got 2 because then I can take one out to demos and cook and Fizz still has one at home to do what he needs to do. So the 6 is a little bit different. It's got a whole lot more functions. It replaces a lot more appliances and it's got different features, a lot of safety features that were built in now, so it's safe to use for other people in the family or for people that have different needs, which is one of my niches that I'd like to do as well because my other hat is an OT during the day. Yes. So making things work for people, that's what we're about.
It's so good. So you've clearly fitted this in, this kind of other life that you just said in your other life. You fitted another life in between being a mum and an OT and just your general life, which sounds really kind of easy and seamless to be able to fit in. That's great that you can do that in your own time.
Look, it's real. It's real. You will see people come through and there's another side of the bench that you physically can't see because it's got lunch boxes and things out and all the other bits out. But that my Facebook and stuff is as much as we can do.
Very cool.
So that's cool. But I was going to run with, a couple of things. I've got a lot of stuff on the bench because your glorified blender comes with so much more than just your blender.
Right.
I'm going with that, Troy. This is your Paroma, which does steaming and things on top, but I'm not going to use that today, but it all comes with it. You've got a basket that goes inside that you can also use for straining and things, which, again, we don't need to use today. Your butterfly, which is great for whipping and whisking things, so like your daiquiris to make them lighter and fluffier and things. And your splash guard, which is for high heat, which is a new function on the TM6. Those we're just going to put aside for the moment. What I picked today was based actually on Chris's segment this week with lemongrass, and I know you guys are growing lemongrass. So I'm going to do a fresh lemongrass and mint and ginger tea.
Cool.
It's a bit summery. It will show you some of the heating functions. So at the moment we've got up the screen that has cookie dough. So all these recipes are inbuilt into here. It's all Wi-Fi synced, or you can hotspot it to your phone if you're going away. All your recipes are in here. We also have just the home screen and all these functions, which I'll go into bits of them as we can. So I've saved this in our week because then I can do our shopping list and everything from here, and you can even connect it through to order your ingredients if you want to. This is a lemongrass, mint and ginger tea. So it will have all the details on there. How many people you're going to make this for, how easy it is. If you want to master chef it up and make a hard recipe, you can. It gives you the nutritional value if that's something you need to consider, and it allows you to adjust things for your own dietary needs. So we're going to crack on and start making this one.
Hey, cameraman, can you go really, really close to the LED, the display, so the camera
Sometimes reflects, so we'll see how we go.
Go real close.
So, because our scales and stuff are built in here too, you don't need scales or anything else. Neat. You're going to put in the ginger.
It's like an iPad.
Just press next.
It's got Candy Crush on it?
Like an iPad.
It's got Candy Crush on it?
Yeah, it's like an iPad, so it's a touch screen.
Okay.
So we've got our fresh lemongrass, which you could have got from your garden. It's awesome to have fresh ingredients from, especially in summer. Put our lid on, measuring cup. We're not used to a cameraman moving here. So we're just going to absolutely chop this.
What on earth? I don't get how it's so quiet.
So one of the really nice things is that you can put in ingredients whole and fresh, so you're not having to buy them with additives or anything else. And you saw that was a piece of lemongrass. I'm just trying to see.
What?
And I had that really big and chunky. The flavours you get and the freshness from it, because you're using real ingredients.
Yes.
From the health benefits are just amazing. But it's also great because it can save you money. So if you just wanted to buy garlic instead of buying garlic paste, you can crush 1 clove of garlic in there. And because the bowl's surgical stainless steel, once you wash it in between, you're not getting that taste got transferred to your other dish. So I can go from doing my garlic to doing an ice cream or a daiquiri all at once.
Yep.
Fresh mint from the garden just going in. Some lemon juice. Again, about using fresh ingredients and saving things.
So it tells you exactly, aside from telling you, does it know when you've hit the limit? Like it's got scales in it, is it? It's
got scales in it, which are in 1 gram increments. You have to be careful not to overload your bowl.
Yep.
So there's 2.2 litres in the bowl, and you can see up the top there is actual measurements inside, so you can see when you're getting too much. For these kind of recipes, there's no way you'd overload your bowl.
Yeah, sure.
But sometimes if you do need to, because it often is a quick thing, you just make a second batch.
Oh, look at that. It's going up by each gram.
Yeah, so they're 1 gram increments. And if you're wanting to just use these as your kitchen scales, you can put a bowl on top, which we'll do later for the other recipe. So it replaces her needing to have kitchen scales. This on the TM6 is a 1 gram increment, whereas on the 5 and the 3, it's a 5 gram increment. So it just gives it a more exact option now. So I put the lemon juice in, and as I said, from a waste point of view, we often take off our lemon peel. This is one of my tips, because you can then blitz it later with sugar for your cocktails. I'm all thinking summer for you, Troy, and make a lemon sugar, give you an extra boost of flavour and things, but also using more, so you're saving money and you're getting better.
Love it.
Value. Okay, we're just going to throw some water in for the tea.
So what are we making right now? We're making a lemongrass and mint.
We're making a lemongrass, mint and ginger tea.
Tea? This is out of control.
Tea.
Look at it go. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
So I went over. Don't stress. Okay.
Yep.
And then I am going to cheat, and I'm actually going to get Justin to put that on so I can crack on with the next one. So it's going to cook. It's going to turn itself on. It's going to cook for 6 minutes at 100 degrees, and we turn it just to 1 to do that. One of the other nice features, if you can now, once it's doing stuff, you can go through and see what your next step is and what you need to do, and you can go back onto things. So that's going to cook away.
So cool. 1 means what? What, just the level?
1 is just a slow. So this is the speed.
Yeah, got ya.
And you can go up to 10. So when we chopped it at the start, we actually went up to speed 7. So depending on the speeds that you go will depend on how much you stir versus chop versus actually blend something.
I want your house. You've got 2 in close proximity.
You can sign up and be a consultant and go on and just do this, and you can do that. It's pretty cool.
Carissa, sign up. I'm sold.
I can give you all the details on that.
Very, very cool.
So my week, we're going to go on and do the tandoori chicken.
Yep.
This we love. So again, this I picked because it's a great summer one, and it's not necessarily cooking anything in the Thermomix, but it's using that summer thing, having barbecues, people around, and it's from the barbecue cookbook. Now, this is a physical cookbook that you get this at the moment. The offer is your Thermomix plus the free gift of the Thermoserve, which keeps things hot and cold, and the barbecue cookbook.
Cool.
So this tandoori chicken is in the barbecue cookbook. It's also, can't do that.
It's all good.
It's also all loaded into our screen, so we don't need to worry
right.
about that. So, but great one. This does a tandoori paste, which is amazing for
Eating.
curries, and we put it on with eggs in the morning when we boil our eggs. We use it for this marinade for the kids as a barbecue. So let's get on to this one. And again, the freshness in here and the value that you save in making something like this as opposed to just buying your curry paste. I've just added quite a few of the stuff together. So in here, I've got a tablespoon of coriander seeds.
Yep.
1.5 tablespoons of cumin seeds.
Yep.
6 cardamom pods, 10 whole cloves. I only put in about a 1 tablespoon of chili powder because we tend to make our tandoori paste a little more mild and then add the chili to the actual curry.
Smart.
A tablespoon of ground turmeric, 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon, tablespoon of salt. That's all in there, just thrown in. So all those spices. And again, you can dry mill these spices, so you can buy them whole. We're just going to tear our scales to go back to 0 because I've gone a step ahead. Add some brown sugar.
Oh, how good's that? So it adjusts to when you kind of go too far ahead.
Yeah, so if you've gone ahead or anything, you can just go back and press 0, or if you forget to take the lid off in between.
Yep.
Tomato paste. Again, one of the great things about summer and fresh produce is all the abundance of tomatoes. It's a great time. You can make your own tomato paste if you want to save buying it and to use some things from your garden. And now instead of garlic paste, we just put in whole garlic cloves because, again, one less thing to buy. It's easy. You can chop them up. It's fresh.
It's amazing. So it says garlic paste does it on the screen, but you're putting in garlic bulbs, and that's still great.
Yeah. So it's also got seed tips, Troy, which often gives you tips and hints as well.
Great.
So there is actually a recipe to make your own garlic paste if you'd like to store it in the fridge and have a lot of it and just add teaspoons, or we replace it with just a fresh ingredient. So it gives you the option of doing that. Then some fresh ginger. We're going to put in some olive oil or any oil of your choice.
So good. So what do you make? This is the tandoori paste, yeah?
So this is the tandoori paste, and I just realised I forgot to get the chicken out of the fridge. So my handy Fizz is going to go and get that part.
So did you select how many you want to cook for anywhere in this process?
No. So the recipes are based on a set number of portions. They're pretty generous with the portions.
Yep.
Samara's laughing in the background because she's like, yep. There's lots of food that comes out of here, but you could adjust it if you needed to because you have control of those scales. So if you know you want to reduce the amount of something, or say for the mangonis, if you had a whole household that eats it, you might double that one.
Yep.
So measuring cup stops everything splattering, and you'll see these handles on the side lock the lid down. It's a safety feature when you're using it so that you can't have it explode off on you. The time's already set for us. We're not cooking anything here. We're going up to speed 9. This is going to pulverise and blend everything in that because we had all those fresh ingredients, but we're making a paste here, like a nut butter or anything else you'd use a similar kind of speed. Yep,
give us a 9. Give us a 9.
25 seconds, Troy.
25. Jane reckons that the other Jane O says there's a unwritten rule you have to yell and warn everyone loud noise before chopping. Is that true? Do you have to yell that in your house? Oh, there must be a bit of noise going on. Must be a bit of noise going on. It must be really loud. Bingo bongo. That's all done.
That's done. That's the tandoori paste done. And this is something that you don't have to do every day, obviously. We were just out of it, so it was a great chance to
Look at it.
do what we do. As I
Great
said,
colour.
Yeah, well, because of all those beautiful spices in there. This is something that we'll fill the jar. We keep the jar in the fridge, and then we use it for curries. We use it for this tandoori chicken that we're going to do. So I am going to get Justin to put it into the jar over there. It's great to have a handy assistant on these.
It is. Does he help when you do your shows, when you do your gatherings at home? Is he out of the house?
He helps by keeping the kids sorted,
Yeah,
or often
sure.
he's out of the house because I do it at a time that works for anyone.
Yeah, love it.
I've just heard that our tea's ready, so I'm just going to bring that back across.
I like the noise. It's nice and like, hello, your life's getting better in a minute. Come and drink me. Come and drink me.
Some people love it. You can make it really loud if you want to. And
Oh, cool. You can change the alarm to
you can actually set it to your own guitar version of the chime or anything else.
Can you set it to Gregory Porter? Or is that the next model?
No, that must be the next model.
Yeah.
Fizz is laughing in the background then, and Charlotte wouldn't eat the food, so we've had a problem.
Fizz is already on the suggestion emails right now.
I don't know if you saw the steam bath.
I
that
do.
just got
We did.
tea across. So it's all heated up. We'll go back to where we were on it, which is up to here. So we're up to adding it 1.5 tablespoons of honey. Now, if you're like me and you don't want to actually get your measuring things out, you can actually just bring your scales up and weigh your honey in. Just one less dish in our household. And I probably should have got a bit more honey in the jar. You can see how it comes up nice and big when you're just using that function.
Yeah. I'm loving the ease. The boldness, the non-cluttered information. It really is quite for the simpletons that want to make complex stuff.
Yeah, and
really
also
helps
just on your bench drawer, so you're not needing to get it out of the cupboard. Like, you don't have to get the rice cooker out. You don't have to get the blender out. You don't have to get the bread machine out. You don't have to get the stick mixer out. It's here. So it's here to use. It's replacing those things. You can sell them off.
Yep.
Now, you can see the temperature here for the tea is 85 at the moment. So it's all red, and it's red on here, another safety thing, just to show that it's hot. This unit doesn't ever get hot, but the actual bowl gets hot.
Yeah, okay.
So in terms of rules in the household, when there's red, don't touch anything except the handles.
Yep, sure.
And that's blending the honey through to the tea. So again, just lovely, fresh, beautiful flavours.
Oh, and labelled. Is that labelled as well?
That's so I know what's in the fridge, because when you tend to use it a lot, you can replace so many general household pantry items for much cheaper and fresher, so you don't have all the carcinogenics or the caking agents and things in it. So you kind of need to remember what it is. So that is our tea done.
What? Ready to drink.
Ready to drink. Done. We are going to strain that and put that in a nice glass kind of teacup so that you can all see that.
Yeah.
And we're finished that one. Let's go back to the tandoori paste, because my beautiful assistant has that ready for me.
Maddie Dowd says, if only we had smell-o-vision right now.
Oh, taste-o-vision, Maddie.
Oh,
Taste-o-vision.
yes.
Even better. So we've already done the tandoori paste. This is to do the tandoori chicken. We're just going to marinate some tenderloins, which you can put on skewers, cook on the barbie. People have this impression with a Thermomix that it's all about just cooking your risottos or your smoothies, and that's all you do. And that's why probably that price tag feels like it's really hefty for doing those two functions. It's about using it to work for you. It might not be making your whole meal. It might be making the marinade for your meat, or the mashed potato to go on the side, or the salad, or the dips, because they're so expensive in the shops. But you can make a pesto dip, serve it up to your guests, then use the leftovers to add through your pasta that night or
Love
the
it.
next day. So it's about using some of those things.
You do know Carissa's only recipe that she brought into my life prior to meeting me was a pesto pasta. You're speaking to the audience right now.
That's
That's her go-to. Lockie got pesto pasta pretty much for his whole year 1 and year 2. And then when he got home, what's for dinner, Mum? Pesto pasta.
Perfect. Now she can add prawns or steam some meat on the top to go with it. Steam the chicken and then shred it through there without having to pull it apart.
Can I throw a question at you? Someone's asked a question online.
Yes.
Can you whip egg whites or cream? Can it make cake recipes?
So you can do cream in it. That's what this butterfly thingy is really
yes,
great
the butterfly
for,
thingy.
because it aerates everything in there. Egg whites, you can literally whip them so well for your pails, it's amazing, or just for your cream that you can turn the bowl upside down afterwards and it doesn't come out.
That's what we want. We want fluffy.
There is even just a recipe for whipping your cream if you need to, but the only thing to watch with that is I would always set your time when you're whipping your cream, because if you over whip it, you've made your butter, which is lovely in itself too, because then you get your buttermilk for baking, but that's how many options you've got with it. Okay, so this is where you can use your scales for other things as well. Wow.
Now, I know you've got the joy of having 2. Is 1 enough? 1 really is enough.
Definitely.
Yeah.
1 is so enough.
Yeah. And do you get extra jugs for them? Is it good to get extra, or what do you get for the pack?
At the moment, the extra pack stuff that you get, it changes.
Cool.
Probably generally tends to change each month, but they are limited time offers. So if things sell out, then you don't get them. So last month was getting a second jug. Yeah, got it. But that was in such demand that sold out. This month, it's now going back to that summer entertaining about using your thermoserve and a great barbecue cookbook.
Yep.
So sometimes it's free things. So this month is a free one. Sometimes it's a optional extra if you want to add things on. Remember too, though, that there's a cleaning function on this. So if you've only got the 1 jug, you just put it on in between with some detergent and water in there, and 4 minutes later it's cleaned itself.
Yeah, got ya.
So you don't have to worry about that.
So what are you doing now? You're still using the Thermomix?
I'm using the scale function. Right. And I'm just going to marinate some chicken so that we can either have that tonight, or the girls sometimes have it in their lunches instead. So I've just put some chicken tenderloins in the top, so you can use this as your kitchen scales.
Love it.
We can get rid of them as well. We have lemon. I need to cut another one. Sorry, guys.
So rice cooking, I'm already just looking at items in my house that I love using. This one you think is as good as a rice cooker. It's as good as your best rice cooker.
Light and fluffy rice cooker, and it fits on your bench better.
Yep.
So half the lemon.
Sorry, Aldi, I might be getting rid of your rice cooker.
I think probably the other thing too, Troy, with that price side of it, is remembering that they last. So you've got 2 years warranty on your parts and things, and you can, as this is a Fizz quote, not a Thermomix consultant quote, but you can bash the bejeebers out of it with ice and everything else. You're not chipping your bowl. If you use your spatula and things that come with it, you can put so many put it through its paces, and it all just lasts. So you've got some salt and pepper in there.
Amanda Glasson says, does anybody want to buy my 10 KitchenAid appliances? I need to raise money right now for a new Thermomix.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, Amanda, that it'll fit on the bench better. Yep. And you can still do your pizza dough in it. And if takeaway is your thing, you can do your takeaway stuff in there and save the money. So the money you save that you would have ordered the pizza in for, or got the great Thai curry, you can use all of it for those things to bring the money back. So yogurt, which again you can make in your Thermomix now. So that does it overnight and you wake up and you've got hot set yogurt. We're going to add that to use as a marinade today in a savoury dish.
Get out. Is that one of the recipes on it?
Yep.
How wild and varied are the recipes on there?
You have worldwide recipes. So you can even just use Google Translate on your phone, Troy. And you can pull up something from Spain and make their Spanish national dish. No.
It's not.
So, if you speak different languages, you can use them. But you can search worldwide. And I will put in the link when we finish. Cookie Dough, which is the recipe platform that's loaded on there. You can jump on and sign up. You get 1 month just to have a look around those recipes and have a play. You can create your own recipe list. You can do shopping from on there. It's about using it for you.
Yeah.
And the best bit is that you have a consultant that comes with it. So if you sit down, you're in a bit of a rut and it's been sitting on the bench and you haven't been using it, reach out, and that's what I'm here for, to inspire you. Inspire you to do that. But you can see how much tandoori paste we've still got left.
Yeah.
So that's going to sit in the fridge.
Got another question coming through.
Go for it.
And for those that have just jumped in, this is Thermomix Tricks with Jane, and this is the first time we've ever done this, and hopefully not the last, because we're going to want other things made for us. Ken, how do you convert your fave non-thermo recipe to thermo recipes?
I love that you just asked that, Troy. It's like someone knew what I was going to say. So the new Cookie Dough 3.0 has just launched this week, and I apologise because in our busy life, I haven't actually had a bit of a play. But it allows you to actually input any recipes that you personally own. So you could use Grandma's apple pie. My dad's yo-yos is one that we're going to put on there, and then it will end up coming up on your screen like this. You just have to own the recipes though. It can't be from another website or anything else, because obviously copyright laws stop you doing that, but it gives you the ability to be able to do that now. So that's something I'd love to go through with someone at a different time, and you literally put all those steps in. That is the marinade done. That's going to go in the fridge now, so it can sit and be cooked tonight. As I said, you can thread it onto skewers and put it on the barbecue, whatever you want to do with that. Yep. That's the tandoori chicken marinade.
That was cool.
So now, last dish that I was going to do this morning, because I hadn't thought of taking requests beforehand.
Yeah, that's cool.
Was the mango muesli.
Now, my mangoes are on the way. Anyone who's got those lovely mangoes coming through from the Fizz's fundraiser, I'm very excited, and I hear these are some of the best mangoes on the planet, so I'm looking forward to this recipe. So what are you making now? What did you say? Mango?
I'm making a mango muesli.
Mango muesli. This is crazy.
So this was about picking something that was fresh for brekkie. Sometimes we're all super time poor in the morning. Instead of making your Berkshire mueslis or anything else, which it can do as well.
Yep.
This is just using something super fresh. Again, it's great from a dietary point of view, subbing what you like. If you don't want dairy-based yogurt, you can make a coconut-based yogurt for you. If you want all your different milks that you always talk about, Troy, your oat milk, your almond milk, your soy milk, you can make all of those in there as well if you want to. So use things that work for you. If you follow a keto diet, if you are vegan, if you are vegetarian, there are collections on there and recipes that cater for that. And the rest of us get to enjoy all of those things and flavours as well.
Jano Blackston follows an Italian Thermomix lady on Instagram. Oh, good idea. When I was doing your Instagram post, I put at Thermomix. I was going to tag Thermomix. Up popped about 89,000 Thermomix at someone, and it was great to see so many Instagram or social media posts on so many tips from all over the world. People posting shows. It's cool. Endless information.
So much information out there.
All right, what are you putting in?
Again, we're trying to save space in the pantry and money, which our Thermomix lets us do that. So instead of buying coconut in the 10 different forms or sugar in 10 different forms, we just have shredded coconut, because the Thermomix will then make it into desiccated coconut. So we're going to do that first. I'm just going to go back to the home screen. You can see we're just going to throw that in, put our lid on, and we're going to just go up to speed 10. We're going to crank it the whole way up now, Troy. Now, again, you wouldn't have to do that if you don't want to. If you want things chunky, you don't have to blend them. But it just means now I've got desiccated coconut.
Gold.
So if I want to roll my rum balls or anything in there or do anything else, but I still wanted chunky stuff for my normal gluten-free muesli that we make, then I've got that option.
I've got another question coming in. Sorry, Jane.
Go for it.
Is there a celiac recipe book?
Yes. So there's so many I know celiac is more than just gluten-free, so apologies if I'm putting that in there. There's the ability to search for collections that are created specially for that, and there's also the option of making those and substituting things in each. So if you need a gluten-free flour, or if you're wanting to only use things that you're based. I think that's one of the things I like in terms of being able to cater for those dietary needs. If you're wanting to make your nut butters and things like that, you know that there's not going to be any hidden extras. You can make baking powder that's gluten-free so that you can then enjoy those breads and things, that knowing that you're safe and you're not going to have that reaction to it. It's worth us jumping onto Cookie Dough and having a look at that. Almonds, just whole almonds. You can then make almond flour, almond meal, almond butter. But today we're just doing it from muesli. Did that kind of cover that in terms of some of the dietary stuff?
Oh,
just some pitted dates. And
so will that not go on unless you put the lid on?
No. So it even reminds you, Troy, if you're having a day where you're a bit tired, you can actually, if you try to turn it on now, it's a bit of a safety thing. It'll just tell you do not have the lid on. You don't have this on.
So it's really good for forgetful people.
In our thermoserve staying cold was the mango for the muesli, which, as I said, again, great to take things hot or cold places.
Get your ear out of the way, Fizz.
Sorry?
Fizz is getting his right earlobe. You can't help it. We don't want any earlobe.
Let's put the lid on. I'll show you, Troy, if you like.
This is so good.
Look.
So clever. So clever, aren't you, Thermomixo version 2? What's this? What model we got at the moment?
This is the Thermomix 6 that we're working on.
The Glassons are going off on the chat. It's so good. How do we get in contact?
I can't see the chat. I'm sorry, I'm not that tech.
No, that's okay.
So that's our mango muesli. That's done.
What? And eat it?
That's freaky done. So we're now going to just make it look nice and fancy. And again, Fizz is my chief stylist here. I'm very much about put it on the plate. Fizz is the chef in the house. I like the step-by-step. He likes to tweak up the recipes the way he likes, but it gives him the flexibility to do that. Okay. So I'm going to get him to. Oh no! Look, I'll try, Troy.
That's okay. We've got a few more minutes. Leave us with some tasty plating.
Again, make it easy for you. If you've made this, layer it up in a jar, leave it in the fridge, and it's ready to run out the door with you tomorrow. If I haven't done a lot of things like soups or salads or anything else today to open those things up, but it's great if you want to, even if you just want to boil an egg in the morning.
Yes.
Put it on. You can do your hard-boiled eggs any way you want to. You can poach eggs in it if you want to.
People are wanting to know. People wanting to know how to get a hold of you. I've just put the link in the chat. That's Mixing for Six with Jane Edwards. Links in the chat. Links in the chat.
Page is a great way, or just on my mobile. Jazz will put that up in the chat as well. And again, this isn't about. It's about making things work for you, having a chance to have a feel and a touch and things, and creating a cooking experience that works for you. I actually did one that worked for us today because this covers breakfast. It's got some dinner aspects and it's got a cup of tea for me to have when I drop the kids off. Yes. Get to breathe again. So this was about making it work for us. There's so many options about making it work for you. So you can, I'm trying to be fancy and layer here.
Yeah, Squiz. Squizzer, this is Mrs. Fizz.
Yeah, hi, Squiz.
We've also got some interest in how can people apply to become a Fizzlet.
A Fizzlet?
Yeah, people want to apply for the if there's any vacancies.
So you're always welcome to come and help out with the Fizzlets, and you will be fed and sheltered. But probably the production of the Fizzlets is closed. But we always welcome people in our house. And then you get to come and actually eat the food, which is even better.
Yeah.
So that is our mango muesli.
Yum.
Yum. As I said, you can layer it in a jar. I just want to quickly, Troy, because I am a bit like Fizz. We get talking. We're a bit like you.
It's great.
There's a whole screen that I just didn't touch on today, which shows you some of these functions. So some of these are already incorporated into the recipes. And some of these are ones that if you wanted to use manually, you'll see me posting things on there. So this was the scales that we brought up. So these are these functions that are exclusive to the TM6. Some of them have been on other models, but when it updates now, you turn it on in the morning and it says, I have an update, and then it just adds something new like the peeler mode that's come out last week. So you can move these around to suit your needs and what you like, but some of the favourites for us, egg boiler mode. You can choose how you'd like your egg cooked.
What?
It always gives you the information. You don't need to remember things on here. And then once you've got that, you just literally turn your dial around to choose how much you want it cooked. So egg boiler mode is one that's used a lot. You can get rid of your kettle if you want to, and you can set it to the right temperature for your green tea. If you're not using your thermoserve and you want to heat up your food afterwards, you can use the warm-up mode. Thickener, great for all your gravies, sauces, custards.
What do you mean? How does it do these things? We're going to have to do another show.
Well, people put in the chat what you'd like to see, and it's probably easier.
Everyone's asking Father Christmas now.
Yes, well, if you do want Father Christmas to get under your Christmas tree, it's probably good to speak to me soon because the delivery for Father Christmas does take time, so it's a good time to do. Remember, you've got your slow cooker mode, so you can replace that big clunky slow cooker that you have to drag out of the cupboard each time. And use that. The Sous Vide mode, so if you want fancy date night.
I was just about to ask, does it sous vide?
It's sous vide. That's why you see them all on MasterChef, because they're using it for their rice, they're using it for their sous vide.
Sous vide's out of control. It's so good.
And our favourite, pre-clean. So now when I've finished
you can put
putting the rest
in
of my
there.
muesli, because I've got so much left in the bowl, all I'm going to do is throw a bit of water in, a squeeze of detergent, and I'm going to turn it around to dough. I'm going to keep going and I get to walk away and it will clean itself. The same as when it was cooking. I can walk away. I don't have to worry about it boiling dry, burning over, getting stuck on the bottoms. And it's really quite intuitive now and smart. So it does things like high heat, so you can sear your meat and caramelise your onions to go on your burgers or anything else like that. And it knows then you can put in some water and vinegar and it will actually take that browning off the bottom of the bowl.
Wow.
And that's a really new smart feature with this one that they really hadn't quite nailed it with the other models, and they're just trying to make it better and better for you.
So when I click on, people are asking already, where can I order? So I clicked on the Facebook link that I put up there. There was a website shop now button.
Yes, and there's also there should be in one of the posts too. There's one that's got a QR code link on it, linked to me. When you're buying a Thermomix, if you don't have another consultant, I'd love to help you out. All those QR links or the buy button links are personally linked to me. If you go just through Thermomix in Australia, it doesn't connect you with me. So please give me a call or use those links on my Facebook page, because it means that I get to help you out.
Yes.
And you get to be part of that really good radio Thermomix community.
So at the moment, there is a barbecue cookbook and 2.6 litre thermo server. Save $185 if you go through the link that's in the chat right now, and it goes, and it actually adds, I'll show you everyone, look at the screen right now. It adds Jane Edwards as your consultant. Everyone can see this right here. You can't see my mouse move. But this is the page that takes you to. So the price is?
So $2,359.
That's great.
So, and as I said, all of those bits that you can replace and what you can save in what you choose to make in it. You know, we would buy a TV and probably not often flinch with how much you spend on it. The other option too is this is not a thing that you have to buy outright. There are plenty of payment options that Thermomix do to make this accessible for people. It's not just about making this a high-end thing. It's about making it work for families or for everyday people. So the 4 payment options you've got is jumping on and becoming a consultant like me, where you earn commission for it and you can pay for your own Thermomix. And then if you get a greedy Troy and you want 2 on your bench, you can get the second one on your bench. But for that first one, so you can do that. You can pay an outright payment. There's what they call an easy 3 payment, which breaks it into 3 credit card payments. And at the moment for today until midday, we've got 36 months interest-free, which breaks down the payment options. And you only have to pretty much put that one in before Christmas, and you will see a flyer on there that it's pretty much cheaper than buying your coffees for a week. So if you can make your coffee or your espresso martini in your Thermomix and save that money towards your payment plans, that's the best way to get it on the bench. When that finishes today at midday, we go back to our standard 24 months interest-free. I can put a flyer up that shows really clearly the breakdown of what those costs are, so it's something that can work for you, and I'm always happy to chat about them. It's something you don't have to tell me how you want to get it on your bench, but I'm happy to help get there. When you click through the cart, it will break down those options and give you those options for things.
So good.
So many ways to help you out with that, and I really appreciate the time with Really Good Radio family this morning.
Oh, we love it.
I get a bit nervous, I go a bit fast, but we'll get there.
No, just information overload, which is just the way we...
There's so much I want to share.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
It's making things work for you.
It's very, very exciting. And what about if people want to have a Thermomix party? And actually,
that is the other way to do it. So we can do what we call them cooking experiences now. So if you want to actually taste some of the food, we can do in person. And the best way to do that is to contact me and we can book it in. Or time for at the moment, if you want to jump on Zoom, you just need to bring along 2 friends on Zoom, in person, a combination of the 2, and you actually then qualify for host rewards. So the host rewards might be another thermoserve or the bread mats to wrap your dough in or to bake your things in the oven in. If you host a cooking experience and open up the host rewards, you get things either at a heavily discounted price if no one chooses to buy a Thermomix, which is fine. There's never any pressure for that. Or if someone buys one, you're getting something free. We encourage people to have as many cooking experiences as you want to, because you pick up more tips on how it works for you and your family or your lifestyle. And you're not limited to having any of those. We also, within my team, we do a lot of group cooking classes, so you get 6 of us mixing things up via Zoom, and I will keep doing some just on my Facebook page. I'm getting more comfortable with videos and being real with that.
You should be.
I have been a consultant for a while. Social media is not my strength, so it's a new world for me.
It is. I think just these kind of things really promote it better than ever.
It's opening it up. The bonus of COVID for us is that I can now do a demo for someone in Perth, or I can sell to someone in Queensland, and I can still be there to support you each step of the way. And what we've often done with that is then once you have a Thermomix, and you're doing a cooking experience, you can kind of lead the show, and I can be on Zoom if you want to and go from there. And it's a great way, Troy, to start off with those daiquiris or the pina coladas or the margaritas or things like that. We can start with a drink and then you can sit down and keep going.
What you have done is made it sound really valuable, which is exactly what I was worried about, because I'm getting one.
Awesome.
I'm getting one.
As I said, if you get stuck in a rut, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
It's about getting the value out of it.
Yeah. Brilliant. Lovely. The internet's dropping out.
It's about creating to your diet needs or anything else. It could be us. Sorry.
That's okay.
No, we got a text message.
Sorry, no, I got a text message in between.
Cool. Fizz, you need to do some. You need to pick up your hand display demonstrating. People weren't happy with the hairiness. The whole Fizz family are amazing. Even Grandma, Grand Fizzlet's there. You're amazing, Jane from Kaililatu. Jane, this has been brilliant. We're going to keep going, squeeze in some music before Daz. Thanks heaps, and please
guys. Have a great day.
Don't be surprised if you get dragged back on here again.
No, that's fine. I'm going off to enjoy my cup of tea.
Thank you.
See you guys.